audience, our social media outreaches. You know, in today's world, we can't discount the wonderful people who are joining us from all around the world in the United States, joining us for our celebration service each and every week. We consider you members of City of Light, part of our congregation. We're delighted that you're with us because as we reach out around the world to more and more people, we're reaching out with the power of the presence of God, with a powerful message of truth that transforms our lives. And we're doing this together. We're delighted that you're joining with us from all around the world, from all across the United States, and from locally here in Atlanta. Now, you're always welcome to join us at our 10:30 service in person. Now, we're excited because when you join us in person, there's a lot of things that you miss out on. You get a chance to get the hugs, the love, the joy, the comments, the encouragements, the compliments that are come through. And especially today, the wonderful compliments on Ugly Christmas Sweater Contest Day. Yes, that's right. I'm dressed appropriately for the Ugly Christmas Sweater Contest. So if you wonder what's going on here, what's with the pastor's choice of attire, it's to celebrate this wonderful holiday season. And we're doing it with lots of fun here at City of Light. Now, maybe you put on your ugly Christmas sweater at home. You're welcome to join us in that great spirit. But we're going to have a great time following our service today as well. We've got a little contest. We're going to award the congregant who's worn one of the ugliest outfits. Now, you know, I give you all credit for the wonderful attempts that you've made, and we're delighted that you're participating in it. But some of you are just looking a little too fine, a little too handsome, a little too gorgeous, a little too beautiful. But that's the radiant spirit that's coming through, no matter what we're wearing, and that's the beauty. We're glad that you joined us. Well, let me ask you this. Here's a very important question I'd like to ask of each and every one of you. Has your life become a series of problems to be solved rather than an adventure to be lived? Has your life become just a series of problems? And that's the way we look at the journey of our day-to-day living. It's like, I solved this problem, now there's another one. I solved that problem, and there will be others yet coming. It seems like our day-to-day journey is just solving problems. Or is this amazing adventure that's meant to be lived? Do you know that you came here for a wonderful purpose? Your soul came to this moment, to this time for a wonderful purpose, and it's an adventure to be lived. It's the unfolding of the soul, the evolution, your spiritual growth, your spiritual development. Not meant to be something dreaded or saying, oh, wow, what a challenge, but to be that great adventure that you can live out each and every day. Are you living life as it's just one problem after another to deal with? Or are you really seeing this? This is a grand adventure. What an exciting journey our life is. Well, today we're looking at this text from Matthew, the ancient writings of this beautiful story of the birth of Jesus, beginning with the word that Joseph finds. We've been looking at this for several weeks, the story of Joseph discovering that Mary is pregnant. His fiancée, the one he's engaged to, now is with child. And how can this be? You can imagine this ongoing predicament. We've been looking at this and examining because it's so real for our lives. For each and every one of us, understand that, you know, this story is our story. How many of you have been in a conversation with someone that says, you know what, I hear what you're going through. I understand because, well, I know what you're talking about. I've had a similar experience just like it. And that's how it is when we read Scripture. We say, I hear what the Bible is saying. I hear this story, and you know what? I'm going through a similar experience just like it. How many of you can say my life is free from predicaments? Predicaments. Yeah, no, none of us. Because our lives is simply that. We've been looking at that from that perspective. A predicament meaning something difficult, something unpleasant, or some embarrassing situation. Well, I don't know about you. I've gone through many of those, many a predicament in my life, things that we sort of hate to deal with. And what happens is that because we look at it from that perspective, fear seems to rise within us and questions arise in our mind. And these take us to a place that is not in the present, but filled with the sense of what ifs. You know what? Where we're living in the world of what ifs. This predicament, what if that happens? What if this is going to unfold? What if this goes this way? What if it happens to manifest in such a way like this? It's that place of uncertainty. Let me tell you this. the address for your adventure in life, your starting point, your place of beginning is not the place of uncertainty. We want to begin this great journey in life, this wonderful adventure, a place of saying that I begin in the address or the location of, I know that I know. What a wonderful place that is. Yet we find that this very text is telling us the story of how to show up for great adventures in our life experience, how to handle them, what to do, how to work through them, how to be present in the midst of our predicaments, how to be present in the midst of our own experiences. Because we so often become caught up in the thoughts about life rather than directly experiencing life. Now think about that. You're in the thoughts all about life, but are you really experiencing what's going on in this moment? Even now, those of you who are joining us through Facebook or social media, those of you who are in the room, your thoughts can be going all different places. But are you in the experience? Are you here in this moment? You see, that's why it's so important. We constantly invite you to breathe. Just breathe. Because in that breath, you realize, wait a minute, I'm here, I'm right now. Don't have to be somewhere else. I don't have to be another place or have to be worried about the past or worried about the future, but just be present in this moment. And this is how we deal with the predicaments in life, how we work through how they become adventures, because we become present in them, not filled with the thoughts of fear and worry that want to take us down a journey that can be very uncomfortable and disturbing in our lives. But we're learning how to deal with life, and it's just learning not just to deal with the easy, but to deal with the difficult in the spiritual life. We want to learn with everything. How can we do it all with great ease? So that what we may call as a predicament, or what we may call as an embarrassing, unpleasant moment, or something that's uncomfortable for us to go through, instead we are with great ease, understanding that we are in this moment for something powerful to unfold within us. To be present is so essential. And learning that is very difficult for many of us because we're constantly, did you think about tomorrow? Have you planned for tomorrow? That's our world. Constantly educating us. Do you have a long arranged plan? Are you always thinking about what's coming up? Or have you really analyzed what you've done? Have you analyzed your past? And so we constantly get in these journeys of two different places, but not in the most important place, the present. Being in the moment is being aware that in this moment right now, you are fine. Now, there's a lot of concerns, challenges that you may be facing, that you may be going through. But right now, right where you are, you have everything you need. You are seated on a comfortable chair or in a comfortable position at wherever you are joining us through social media. You are fine. You have breath. You have life. You have sustenance. You may think, but in 5 minutes, no, right now, in this moment, you have everything that you need. To be in this moment is to let all else go. Let the past go. Let the future go. Let everything go. It means letting go of your past, your connection to what was, so that you are no longer drifting backwards in time. But being present means no longer jumping ahead to the future because you're projecting the present into the future in any way that, well, it could not be real because you don't know that what's going to happen in the future. Why are we worried? Why are we stressing? Why are we not in the moment? Now, Joseph finds out this news. And he's having trouble being in the moment. He's having trouble because it seems to me that the great predicament of his life. He's struggling with it. This story is so full of nuances for us. We could study it for weeks and weeks and weeks, looking at all the different insights that are offered to us for our own spiritual life as we place ourselves in. When's the last time you've heard some bad news or you experienced something difficult or experiencing something embarrassing? Well, we all can relate, yes. And it's been sometimes very frequent for us. So we need to look at this and examine what is there for our lives. For this, being present allows you to show up for life's adventures and not run from them, but to go through them and to experience the adventure of it all. I don't know about you, but there's been a lot of great adventures that I've had opportunity to participate in. Some that, while I was in the midst, were not all that enjoyable. You know what I mean? So I was challenged to go indoor skydiving. And I thought, this is going to be lots of fun, a great experience. I'll learn what it's like to skydive. You know, you cut on your suit, and I took my son and daughter, and we were going to have a great time doing this family experience. And here's this big wind tunnel, and you're at the door, and you see the person, the coach, he's in the wind tunnel, and just the wind is holding him up and supporting him as he sort of flies in a wind tunnel of over 200 feet of wind that's carrying him as if he were skydiving. Well, it sounds like this is going to be great fun. And then you're at the doorway, and they're asking you, jump in, just jump into the wind, dive in. You know, how many of you are excited about the idea of just jumping out of an airplane at several thousand feet in the air and just nothing there to catch you? You know, that is a moment where you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was going to be a good thing. And all of a sudden you're at this, and fear rises up, and adrenaline rushes. And you're thinking, wait a minute, I don't know if I want to do this because my past has had all kinds of challenges about heights and I have fears. And then I'm thinking, but the future, maybe I'm going to fall in this wind, and where's it going to take me? And I have no security. And the past and the present, whoa. Take a breath. Be in the moment. Because in the moment, you're just going to release and fall into the wind, and it's going to carry you. When you're in the moment, all that fear, worry, and stress is gone, and you're able to receive the great adventure. And what adventure it is. And what adventure it was. As I participate in this indoor skydiving, it was something that, you know, I get to experience and say, this is life's adventure. Oh, how fun when you let go of the fear, when you let go of the worry, when you let go of the stress, when you let go of what has been and the what will be's, to just enjoy the moment. Do you understand that your soul knew exactly what it was doing when it brought you here? Do you know that? It knew exactly what it was doing. Because everything you're going through, every predicament, every embarrassing moment, every difficulty, every challenge you're going through is there for your evolution. And it is the beauty of this, that you are here for such a time as this. I love that phrase. There's an Old Testament story of Queen Esther. Queen Esther being chosen for such a time as this, for this moment. She became chosen to be the queen, and then revealed, came out of the closet as a Jewish woman to save her people, to come before the king. And the story is so beautiful. If you haven't read it, not familiar with it, make yourself familiar with the beautiful story of Queen Esther being chosen for such a time as this. There's something beautiful about being aware of this moment, this time, and that you are here to go through what you're going through with great purpose. Everything you're going through. Maybe you're facing some health challenges. Maybe you're facing some financial difficulty. Maybe you're going through a transition in your life, making a change. Maybe you're going through some evolution, but this is what you came to do. All of this is part of your spiritual evolution. So when we relax and go, I am called to go through this. I'm going through this for my highest and best. Rather than being in this constant state of unease, we have to let go of all of this and let our mind, which is addicted to something called struggle. What a drug that is. You know, our minds are really addicted to struggle. We are so accustomed to that. And struggle is simply fear. Your mind is addicted to this. Your struggling self doesn't only grapple with the big things in life, but you know what? We struggle with the small things in life. You struggle with, everything from the length of a stoplight. How long is this going to be? And I'm struggling with this, and I'm waiting, and I'm impatient. You struggle with someone's poor driving habits going down the road, and you're like, they didn't use a blinker, they're turning wrong, and you're getting all upset. You're struggling with all of this, and your mind is so addicted to some of these simplest things in life that you struggle with. Some of you struggle with finding an ugly Christmas sweater, and then you struggle with the actual ability that you're actually wearing it, and how embarrassing and what a predicament that has been for you. But see how we are in our life, that we're addicted to this sense of struggle within our journey. That we want to realize that we want to release that addiction, release this sense of struggling. Joseph had to come to this place of saying, I'm struggling with this. Where do I go? I'm struggling with this. And his mind is racing with all the different what ifs and what ifs and what ifs. What will the world think? What will the community think? What will people think? What do I think about all of this? What if? You see how in his position, he allowed his mind to engage in that addictive power of a struggle of fear within him? Well, let me tell you this. I want you to know that events are not happening to you. They're happening for you. Everything you're going through is for you. Every health challenge, every financial challenge, every obstacle you may think is an obstacle, it is there for you to stir up your faith. Oh, my Lord, I just love the wonderful experiences that we've gone through in the adventure of life. And some of the great catastrophes that have come have really bound people together. As we plan for Crossroads Community Center in 2023, one of our statements that we're making is that humanity comes together in compassion. And when we see the needs, when we see challenges, when we see problems, when we see issues, when we see these predicaments, what do? We come together, we unite. Love rises up within people. And have we not seen so many stories from everything from 9/11 experience to hurricanes and tornadoes and fires and every people coming together and helping one another. The hand of God being revealed in greater ways. And love rising up in deeper, stronger ways being manifested in our world today. Wow, things aren't happening to us. They're happening for us. Opportunities for us to demonstrate love, grace, faith, to believe. You know, everything that's coming to us is enabling us to grow the soul and the strength of the soul to exercise, you know? It's kind of like when you go to the gym, the first day you walk in, you're kind of intimidated, and you reach for that 5 pounds and try to lift it and looking kind of like, I can do this, you know? The next day you may reach for the 10 pounds, and the next day for the 15, and the next day go back to the 5. But you know how it is. You're like, oh, I'm so beat, but you're exhausted in the whole journey, and suddenly you're moving on up to, you're pumping 65 pounds, you're lifting 100 pounds, you're bench pressing. Well, how did you get to that place? You got to that through each experience strengthening you. Things aren't happening to you. They're happening for you. To strengthen you, to strengthen your faith. These aren't struggles, these aren't predicaments. These are strengthening moments within our lives. Because there's a beautiful statement that Mary O'Malley, who is an author, has said. I love this. Whatever is in the way is the way. Whatever is in the way is the way. It's the way for your life. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And in dealing with fear, we've got to remember that, well, we are not separated from the divine power of God. And Joseph's realization was, I am not separated from the power of God because they're in a dream. His subconscious rises up, and in a dream state, it appears as if there's an angel before him telling him that, don't worry, in essence, for his name shall be Emmanuel. Emmanuel simply symbolizing for Joseph. God within us, God with us, God for us, God around us. You see, in the midst of that predicament, that embarrassing moment, that uncomfortable situation, there was this great realization that needed to come to Joseph. It was not happening to him, it was happening for him. So that he might remember that the presence of God is always with us, never leaving nor forsaking. And let me tell you this, remembering is essential. You know? Yes, it's essential when you walk into the kitchen and you want to remember, why did I walk in here? It's essential, right? You want to remember why you're doing what you're doing. But remembrance in our day-to-day life and our spiritual life is so essential. There are many rituals of remembrance that the ancients participated in because it was so important to remember, to remind us, I am remembering the divine source. I am remembering this divine source which is in heaven. I'm remembering my higher consciousness. We sing the Lord's Prayer every Sunday to help us remember. Because what it does is starts out with words of recognition. I am recognizing our Creator, or I'm recognizing our divine source. I am recognizing God's presence, which is in heaven, not in some far out space, but in my consciousness, in my higher consciousness within me. I am remembering that power and presence is within me. Hallowed be thy name. Holy, pure is what I'm remembering. The goodness, the holiness of your name, meaning your character, how you move and operate. So holy and pure and good and loving and kind is how you operate. I need to remember that. So this is what is a great act, is these moments of remembrance. Taking time out to remember the power of God. Remember the presence of God. Remember that God is always with you, never leaving you nor forsaking you. Remembering that God is almighty and that God knows your need before you even ask. Some key things to remember. So beginning our journey with a moment of remembrance is essential. And for Joseph, the dream brought forth a moment of remembrance. Emmanuel, God is with us. Do you understand how important it is for us to remember, to tell the stories of blessings, to remember the truth of God's goodness? You know, that's why it's great to us to have testimonies and tell our stories of how God is blessed. And as we opened our service, David Carter sharing this wonderful praise of how God has worked through him and uniting his family together. How important it is that we have this wonderful moment of remembrance, to remember. A nurse tells a story that it was a busy morning in the clinic, and approximately about 8:30 a.m., an elderly gentleman came forward, and he arrived to have stitches removed from his thumb. A simple thing. He'd stated that he was in a hurry, and about 9 o'clock his appointment was going to be. She thought, you know what, he's in a hurry. I'll take his vital signs. I'll have him take a seat. And, it may be over an hour before he sees the doctor, but you know what, I'll be able to see him and help him on his journey. She saw him looking at his watch and decided, well, since I'm not busy with another patient at this moment, I will evaluate his wound for him. I'll expedite this. And on examination, she saw that the wound was well healed. And so she talked to one of the doctors and got the needed supplies and removed the sutures and redressed the wound for him. Wow. And while taking care of the wound, she began to talk and carry on a conversation with him about, the doctor's appointment and why are you in such a hurry? Well, he said, I needed to go to see my wife in the nursing home. I'm going to have breakfast with her. Oh, wonderful. How's her health? Well, he began to share that she had been there for quite a while and had Alzheimer's disease. And as they talked together, he began to express and just say, you know what? I'm a little bit late. I want to get going. She no longer really knows who I am, and she's not recognized me in over 5 years. Well, you're still going every morning, and you're in a hurry to make breakfast with her, and she doesn't even know who you are. And he said, you know what? She doesn't know who I am, but I still know who she is. In the journey of life, we may have forgotten the divine source, the power and presence of God, the wonderful essence of Creator. Hallowed be thy name. We may have forgotten the holiness of God's character. We may have forgotten that God is there to help us through every predicament, through every dilemma, through every embarrassing moment, through every uncomfortable moment that we go through in our lives. We may have forgotten that. But I want to tell you this. God has not forgotten you. God has not forgotten you and is there with you. So it's what's so essential for us is that we discover this moment of discover with the okayness, keyword, okayness of our natural state. Our natural state is okay. Even in the midst of a predicament, I'm okay. Even in the midst of challenge, I'm okay. In the midst of everything, I'm okay. And for Joseph to realize in the midst of his predicament, his fiancée, pregnant, I'm okay. I'm in the okayness. I'm in the okayness. It's resting in that ease of our mind, and often the mind that wants to do the opposite and not be at ease. We're remembering the Lord is my shepherd. He leadeth me to still waters and green pastures. God's not leading you to troubled waters and to dry brown grass. God's leading to that which is nurturing and strengthening you when we allow our lives to be in the okayness. And when we remember that. For the very core of our journey of life is about opening to what has been closed up within inside us. Opening to it so that the energy that's bound up in our struggling self can be released, so that we can once again know the joy of being fully alive and welcome the grand adventure of the evolution of your soul. You're going through some amazing things, not happening to you, but happening for you. So right now, I want you to do something and pull the plug. That's right. Pull the plug, disconnect, unhook from your struggling self. Unhook. Allow this truth to set you free and to liberate you. Say it over and over again. The truth is setting me free. The truth is setting me free. This is the truth of God. God is with you. God is in you. God is for you. God is around you. God is this Emmanuel. This presence defined as always with you, never leaving nor forsaking. So we want to come to this place where we know that things are going to work out. That's right. Could you be at that place where you know no matter what you're going through, things are going to work out? Now, they may not work out the way you thought they'd work out. They may not work out the way you want them to work out. Because let me tell you this, they may work out in an even better way. I don't know about you, but I've discovered that. When I just let go and release, it doesn't always have to be my way or the way I think it should work out. Because let me tell you, in the journey of our lives, I have been blessed in so many ways. We as a congregation have been blessed in so many ways. We never dreamed it was going to work out this way. We didn't think, we didn't comprehend, we didn't know, but now to come to this wonderful sense of I live in okayness, I live in this knowledge, I live in this knowing everything's going to work out, is this wonderful place of rest. That's right. For the soul to rest in the sense of that I know it's good, I know it's blessed, I know all things are working together. I am sort of living the seventh day of life. The Sabbath is the seventh day. The seventh day of rest. And that's the day of I know that I know that I know. How wonderful that is. Everything's going to be okay. I have released and let go. I'm disconnecting from the addiction of struggle. I'm disconnecting that my life is just one series of challenges going over and over again. I have now begun to see my life as this grand adventure of the unfolding of the goodness of God working in my life for my highest and best. Amen. Well, we have the opportunity to celebrate the highest and best, and that highest and best is our prosperity and blessing. We get to celebrate it through our giving and our generosity. We get to say, I know that I know that I know. I live in okayness. I live in this wonderful knowing that God is good at all times. No matter what my predicament, no matter what my scenario, no matter what the news may be, God is with us. So I encourage you, as our ushers come, for you to give generously. We have some words on the screen that we're going to share. We invite you to repeat with us together. And those of you joining us through our Facebook and social media, you can reach out at the same time through our website at www.cityoflightatlanta.com. Offer your gifts there. Let's share this together. City of Light is a thriving community that is experiencing the abundance of God. We are growing and flourishing because we believe and practice the teaching of spiritual truth. As we give and receive, we join now in the divine flow. We know that all we share with life returns to us multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Let us give generously. Amen. Thank you so much. As we have lit the third candle in our Advent season, as we are drawing closer and closer to this wonderful celebration of love and light, our journey continues on, each and every one of us. Our soul is moving through. Get ready for an exciting new year that begins just around the corner. Get ready with the spirit of expectation of what is about to unfold for your life. How many of you are ready to set some goals? Because I'm telling you right now, we've got to set some goals because the Spirit wants to know what you desire in your life. Some clarity about what I want. So join us over the next few weeks as we travel this journey of expectation and we prepare for this exciting new year unfolding for us with the power of expecting something specific. Now, have you ever set a goal of what kind of prosperity you would like to experience? What kind of abundance you'd like to have on your life this coming year? Have you thought about what kind of health and wholeness or loving relationships? Set those goals. Let's begin to get that clarity now as we prepare for this exciting new year. Advent is this wonderful journey of preparation, preparing for something to begin, a new journey happening in our lives. As we conclude our service today, we want to say thank you for those of you who are joining us today. We're going to close with this wonderful thought that there is peace, perfect peace. It's in this world and it's here, it's right now, because it's beginning within each and every one of us. Join us as we sing this closing chorus together. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as my center, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Oh yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me. Let's pray together. I invite you to join with me and let's let our faith rise up together as we claim amazing things for our lives. Amazing. Not just simple, not just whatever, but amazing above and beyond unfolding for us. As so we believe, so we receive. Let us pray together. As we claim now this divine truth at work within our lives, our words go forth with such authority and such power, a foundation of knowing and knowing and knowing it is so, of believing. We claim now for each and every one who is within the range of my voice, that is hearing now these words, that the power and presence of God is at work within them, touching their life in a unique way today. That no matter if they're going through a predicament, an uncomfortable situation, an embarrassing moment, whatever it may be, that they become the Joseph of today that has this immense realization God is with them and everything they're going through is not happening to them, but for them, for their highest and best as we evolve together. So we claim in this journey this wonderful piece of centering our lives in the okayness, that yes, all things are okay. I know all things are working out. I know beauty of God is unfolding in every scenario. I need not walk in fear, and I release my addictions to struggle. I struggle no more. But we walk in great confidence, knowing, believing, and receiving the goodness of God at all times. We recognize it, we acknowledge it, it is here, it is at work within us. So with great gratitude, we release this that we proclaimed with a sense of knowing and a sense that that word we speak is going forth and is accomplished and brought forth within our lives, as together we say, and so it is. So take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me. Thank you so much for joining us today. Those of you who are here in our auditorium, well, we're going to join in our social hall as we continue our celebration of Ugly Christmas Sweater contest. And we have our judges who are going to honor and offer that prize to our winner today. And those of you who are joining us through our live streaming, we're glad that you're with us. We look forward to seeing you next week. And we encourage you, if you've been blessed today, to offer a special gift. A gift of love, a gift of appreciation for the ministry that's touched your life today, for this word that's coming forth, that's reaching around the world and offering transformation, a transformational experience for so many, a transformation to peace and wholeness. So we encourage you to offer your gifts in great support. We thank you for them, and we'll see you all next week. God bless you as we go in God's peace.